Hi guys, and welcome back to the Girly Girl Bookworm. So today I have my last 5 reads for you. I just got back from vacation just yesterday, and I have 5 reads, so I figured it was time to share them with you. I did try to vlog in Disney. It turned into just like a lot of like 5-second snippets, so I don't know what it's gonna end up looking like by the time I finally edit it and put it all together. I definitely want to make sure that I get it all done before California so I can clear up my phone space so I can take lots of pictures while I'm over there. So keep your eyes peeled. That will definitely be coming. I think I'm probably going to do a July book haul also when I get back from California, because I feel like I'm going to want to buy a book just as like a sentimental thing while I'm over there. So I'm not going to do a book haul quite yet, but I definitely do have a book haul probably coming after that. But let's just get started. I've got 5 reads that I would like to share with you. So 2 of them I finished before leaving. One of them I read on the plane there. One of them I read while I was there, and one I read on the plane ride back. So I listened to the audiobook for Every Last Lie by Mary Kubeka. I really enjoyed this author. I ended up giving this book 4 stars because it was really engaging. I listened to it, like I said, as an audiobook while I was like cleaning around and trying to like clean and get things ready for vacation and all that. And then I was also listening to it that day at work because I was working in curriculum hours, and at one point we just kind of had nothing really to do except be kind of on our own, so I just kind of stuck my headphone in and just like listened to it. And in the very end I actually listened to it in the car with my husband, and he got really engaged into it. But then the ending was such a disappointment. Like, this could have been a 5-star read, and then it just turned out to not be, because the ending was just, it just felt like the whole book was for naught at that point. So really engaging, really captivating, but the ending was just blah. This follows a woman, and she is home. She's waiting for her husband. He went to go pick up Chinese food, and she gets like a knock on her door, and she like answers the door, and it's this policeman saying like her husband and her daughter were in a car accident. So they go to the hospital, and the husband ends up passing away. And so she's trying to find out like what happened, because she doesn't really believe that it was just a true car accident. So she tries to dive deeper into it, and she comes across all these clues that lead to possibly being something else. So there was like 10 different things that it could have been. So that's why I think it was good, because it kept me guessing. It kept being like, oh, maybe that happened. Oh, maybe that happened. But then the ending was just kind of blah. So really engaging. So I kind of recommend it, but I also like kind of don't recommend it, because if you're really into a thriller and you want intensity and all that stuff, like, you probably won't get it. You won't be satisfied with the ending with this one, unfortunately. I like her other books a lot better. Then I also read The Perfect Couple by Ellen Hildebrand, which this is her first murder mystery, and it was so good. It was so addicting. It was a little long for my liking. It follows this a whole cast of characters, and they're there on Nantucket for a wedding. And the night before the wedding, they're like having the rehearsal dinner and all that. And the morning of the wedding, the bride finds her best friend and her maid of honor dead. So then they're like, what happened? Was she murdered? What happened? I loved it because it followed some of the characters you would recognize from previous books. Like, there was the chief, who's in a couple different books, and the children from the Castaways book are in here. So that was kind of just like, I remember I texted my friend who also loves Ellen and was reading this, and I was like, I'm on page 1. I saw characters from another book. I love this book already. So it was definitely good, definitely engaging, definitely like unpredictable, so much drama. So if you love a drama-ridden like murder mystery book, Ellen's your girl right now. This is definitely, I'm glad that she decided to try to branch out, and I really, really enjoyed this one. So this one was a 5 out of 5 stars. I highly, highly recommend it. Then when we were packing, I was in the middle of reading that book, but I also wanted to pack and things like that, and so I picked up an audiobook. because I could not find The Perfect Couple on Hoopla. I've also had a couple questions about Hoopla, by the way. Hoopla I get through my library. It's free. There's no wait list. I tried. They also have another one called Libby, which you can like put yourself on wait lists for books. So with the fact that there's not many wait lists on Hoopla, you can kind of get what you want if it's available, but they don't have everything available. So definitely I've been like scanning through trying to find books that I already own because I hate, like, I don't want to read a book that I then have to buy. Like, I just want to read something that I already own. So I found one that I already owned, and that was Sisters Like Us by Susan Mallory. And I was reading this while I was packing, and then I finished it on the airplane. This is the 4th book in the Girls of Mischief Bay series. I don't know if it was concluding or not. This one felt a little weird because I mean, it's been a while since I read the 3rd one, but I didn't see the connection of why this was even in the series other than it takes place in the same place. So, I don't know, but there could be a connection. I just don't remember because I read book 3 so long ago. I enjoyed this one. I gave this one 4 stars. Again, I didn't love it. It follows these 2 sisters, and they live on Mischief Bay, and they kind of have different lives, completely different lives going on. I don't really want to say too much more than that because I don't want to spoil anything, but it was pretty good. Just there was nothing that gave it that wow love factor, which most of the books in the series kind of have done for me. But they're really nice, they're really easy to get through, and I do enjoy them. Just, there's nothing that pushes it to the love stage. Then that same day, on the airplane ride down, when I finished that one, the only book that I still had, I could have picked up one of my physical books that I brought, but I was like, I only have like an hour left of this flight, I better just read my ebook. So I picked up Beauty and the Beast Lost in a Book by Jennifer Donnelly. I had like wanted to bring this on my trip because obviously I was going to Disney, but I didn't feel like bringing this like hardcover book. So what I ended up doing was, before I left, I downloaded the ebook for it on Hoopla as well. So Hoopla does audiobooks and ebooks. And I wasn't really that captivated by this book. I gave it 3 stars. It was very, very easy to get through. The chapters like flew by, because there are, as little as this book is, there's like 67 chapters, or no, 57, 63. Hold on. No, there are 67, I was right. 67 chapters in this very little book. So the chapters flew by. I really felt like parts of it kept really true to the Beauty and the Beast that we all know and love, and the other part was just like irritating. So the whole premise of this book is that love is the one that places the curse on the Beast, and Death doesn't want love to win, because love really actually wants Beast to like turn his life around and be in love and all that stuff. So love wants Beast to break the spell and win. Death, on the other hand, does not want them to win. So she tries to set up this thing to like sabotage love. So she creates this book called Nevermore, which kind of ultimately will suck Belle in and take Belle in, and hopefully Belle will stay there. And if Belle stays there, Beast won't fall in love with her, she won't fall in love with him, and ultimately Death will win and not love. So it was interesting, but it just felt like, this is Disney. Like, I don't want this, like, evil, sinister, like, it just felt very weird. It really reminded me of, what is that series called? I read all 3 of them by Kelly Cray. I think it was also called Nevermore. It might have been. I'm, like, picturing the covers. It was, like, black. It was Edgar Allan Poe themed. If you know what I'm talking about, please let me know, because I'm clearly lost in my own head right now. But yeah, it reminded me of that. It was very dark and very sinister. Belle it just amazed me how gullible Belle could be. Like, I know, like, obviously she put herself in this world, but it felt weird that she would, like, fall for these, like, tricks, I guess you could say. It was very interesting. I gave it 3 stars. I didn't love it, so I'm not necessarily recommending it, but if you love Beauty and the Beast, maybe you might want to try it. And then on the way home, I decided to pick up an audiobook. In my little vlog of sorts, I explained that we actually ended up getting a 3-hour flight delay. Our flight was supposed to leave at 8:55 at night, and it didn't leave until like 11:40 at night. So I had a nice chunk of time where we knew that the flight was delayed, so we were hanging out at the hotel before we left. So I was listening to my audiobook at that point. Then I listened to it all throughout the airport. Then I listened to it throughout my entire flight. So I finished this audiobook pretty quickly, and that was How to Catch a Prince by Rachel Hawk. Sorry, there's post-it in it, because I did actually bring this book physically with me. And then I was like, I'm just going to listen to the audiobook, because I noticed that, like, I get very distracted in situations like that. So if I'm able to, like, listen and do things, it's a lot better than if I'm, like, looking up every 5 seconds from my book. So audiobook was definitely the way to go with this one. I'm so excited that I finally finished the series. This is the 3rd book in a series. The first one was Once Upon a Prince, and then the sequel was Princess Ever After. They're all companion novels. This one is very heavily Christian fiction-y compared to others that I read by her. This one definitely focused a lot on God's message and God's plan at the very end. So if that is not what you are into, I wouldn't recommend this book to you. But if you don't mind some Christian fiction and you love a good romance, this one's definitely a good one. I really got sucked into the story. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars, like all of Rachel's books. I tend to give all of them 5 out of 5 stars. I definitely enjoyed it. Definitely a twist on love that I wasn't expecting. I didn't read the back of the book. I don't like to read the synopsises of her books. I tend to just go into them. So I'm really excited that I can finally say that I finished the series, which lets me know that I can read the love letter this summer if I really want to. Because now I won't feel guilty knowing that this one was still unread on my shelf. So I finally finished another series, and I loved it. 5 out of 5 stars. So yeah, the book that I'm currently reading right now is Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. I started this book yesterday. I've only got 100 pages left. Just a little spoiler alert, I'm not really enjoying it as much as I wanted to. The next book I'll probably pick up is Small Great Things by Jodi Picoult. Yesterday I was debating between these 2 books, and I was like, what do I read? I don't know. And Patrick goes, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 2, so I picked 2, and that was Crazy Rich Asians. So that's why I ended up reading this one first. But I did look at my dress romper is falling off. I did look at the movie preview for this, and this looks really, really good as a movie, but I'm not sure how it's playing out as a book. See if the ending changes my mind. But after that, I cannot wait to dive into this one. And then I think I might as well just tell you all my plans. And I think my next plan is, of course, it's a book on the bottom, is to get to Tiger's Dream by Colleen Hooke. I figured get some of my bigger, chunkier books out of the way before California. So these are my plans. Finish this book today. Probably start this book today. Finish it tomorrow. I do have a wedding. And then maybe this weekend I will binge read this one. We'll see. These are my next plans. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. What is with this romper today? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to undress right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys really, really soon. Bye, everybody.